Welcome to a very interesting Z review, because I'm going to review this Grace SDAC balance, and SDAC stands for Standard DAC, because when I think something's special, I think it's the standard, like the toilet. Anyway, so this little thing's mass drop, and it's the balanced version. I was waiting for the balanced version. I know they have another normal SDAC. We're going to talk about that, but at the same time, to save efforts, because the Zeos is very busy, man, I'm also going to mod my Aeolus while we're doing this, which currently they are hooked up to my Tor Watcher, and I've got this hooked up to my 789, and let's see what's going to go downtown. Because I've been told if you take the wire mesh off of the driver, it removes some of the tuning that ZMF did, but it also opens them up and gets them a little bit sharper, which is fine as long as it makes them wider. Anyway, the Grace SDAC sounds amazing. Look at wallpaper, little cute black wallpaper, little cute black little thing in the same exact box. Like, I can't fault mass drop for this choice. So mass drop and Grace, blah 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 blah. The space savings on that is actually ridiculous. Like the amount of things they did abnormally to try to fit different connections on the back. I just gotta remove these 8 screws while we're talking. So there's only one switch in the front, USB or coaxial. Actually, I'm sorry, USB or digital. I'm reading it wrong. And I don't have USB hooked up to it because I hate drivers, which limits me to only like 24-bit 192, but I know, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Actually, here's the thing, I'm running it off of fiber optic. It has a combo SPDIF port, which means it could either be fiber optic with an adapter. If you have a regular fiber optic cable, you buy that little 3.5mm adapter, or it comes with a 3.5mm to, well, it's coaxial digital. It's an RCA plug, but it's a coaxial digital. So it comes with that, or you can buy this. It should actually come with that, but it doesn't. And you still need to power the unit, so you still need to put a USB onto it. So I just grabbed, what did I plug you into? I just had like an extra phone charger lying around, and I just smashed a standard USB cable into. I think it came with a USB cable. The unboxing was a couple days ago, and I'm playing with this on the heels. Ooh. On the heels of the shit Mjolnir. Oh. So yeah, this film is actually, like, look at it. I didn't think it was this dense, but that is a dense light blocking. I mean, if I put my eye right to it, I put that right to the camera. Where the hell is the camera? Hold on. You might be able to see something through it, but that is a dense piece of metal. And that was put on the front of this driver on the Aeolus. The Aeolus that I said is best headphone of the fucking year last year. And everyone's like, oh my God, Zeus, we tried it with the filters off. And I'm like, no, why would I touch it? And everyone's been bugging me. So we're gonna hit play. I have been listening to these headphones on that tube amp for a bit, so at least I'm gonna be able to give my opinion rather quickly. I'm gonna leave these screws out for just time savings. So yeah, sounds damn good. It is finally. Do I have the page open? Please tell me I have the page open. Yes, it's out of stock. I forget what I paid for this. Am I baddie? I'm a baddie. Actually, the fact that it's out of stock sucks, because when I link it in the description, this is going to be one of those drops that I have to request and then let it sit. I can give it to the patrons. Hi, patrons. If my patrons can get this right now, this way they know my thoughts ahead of time, and I'll probably release it to the public after they come back. Will it come back? I hope it comes back, because it's a damn good little DAC. Did not mean to make that all rhyme, but it did anyway. So let's gently remove that. I will leave this. Actually, do the screws need to be in there to hold that shield in front of it? I'm gonna put the screws back. So all you got in the front is a little white LED. It's the cutest little thing. If you have a 789, does it pair well with it? Fuck yeah. People talk a lot about pairing DACs, and I don't really subscribe to that like theory. Like, you just need a good DAC. Now, if you have a balanced amp and you don't have a balanced DAC, then you're not quite pairing it right. But I think once you have good of either thing, you're good. So let me unplug some of this stuff, if not all of this stuff. So actually unplug everything because it's all, look how many things go into the back of this little box. Here's your XLR balanced in and out. There's your unbalanced out, a 3.5mm. I'm using the RBH little aux cable to go to this tube amp. Here's your optical / coaxial digital input, which is what this would go into. And if not that, then you get the fiber optic adapter, so you can plug that in there. Then you get the full size of all the things for space savings. They don't go with a smaller USB. They go with the full fucking size USB. And then you have a switch here for USB 1 or 2. USB 1 requires no drivers. USB 2 might, depending on your operating system, but it also can handle higher bit rates, etc. I just like the build of it. Can I just say I like the build of it? Like, that's right up there. Geshelli Labs, this, SMSL, SU8. All three things. Now, I'm actually glad that those three things exist because the SU8 is a balanced DAC with remote control. The SMSL M300 is a balanced DAC without a remote control and doesn't really make sense unless you want the apps. I think that might, through some miracle of my not hearing, be better because the chipset design is more modern, but I don't fucking know. I'd rather just stick with the SU8. You need a remote control, you want to control your powered monitors, it's perfect. Geshelli Labs over there, no USB in. This has USB in, and so does the SU8. That, no USB in. Only fiber optic or coaxial digital, because Geshelli designed the thing. Pocket's yelling at me. Geshelli designed the thing he doesn't like. Gotcha. Go down now. Sleep for a second. So that's only fiber optic or coaxial digital, but the party piece of that is it has full-size RCA outs as well. This doesn't have full-size RCA outs, but you could just get, well, here, I'll borrow this. You can get an adapter. This is an Emotiva one. I don't think they sell this, but it's just a 3.5mm to really nice female. I'll try to link something like this, a 3.5mm to female RCA. So now, boom, it's got full RCA outs. What that does, if the SU8 does filters, like sound filters, like crystal and tube, and has a remote, the Geshelli Labs, its party piece is the multiple voltages you could choose from. Plus it looks cool. It's see-through and has a bunch of bright LEDs in it. Don't hold that against it. But it has 3 voltage outputs, which I do use regularly, like feeding my Emotiva here. It's a 8 watt per channel amp, but sometimes that volume control gets a little fucking touchy. You lower the output voltage of your DAC, you don't have to lower the digital volume of anything, and you can use the volume control a little bit more freely. That's the Geshelli Labs thing. So what does this have? It's probably the best looking of all the DACs that are balanced. I mean, look at the fucking, it's so small. It's literally so small. You do have to power it with USB, and then you could feed it signal any way you want. You could, if you run it USB off your computer, you don't need to feed it signal separately. Let's take this out, not using you. Plug you in for the tube amp. And oh, if you want to pick up the nicest fucking, these are $7 each. These are XLRs with spring. These are Amazon Basics. And I took a Sharpie, a blue and red Sharpie, and I filled in the little crack there, so I know which side is which when I go into my 789. And I'm just, how do you get the cloth? How do you make it so good and cheap? And I know the answer is China, but I'm still gonna ask the question. It's my job to ask the question. It's a very good sounding, very neat, very compact, very quiet, like there's no noise. It just works. Now let me put the damn pads back on this. I should be doing this the whole time. Watch the EOS work real fast. So now, that's done. That wallpaper downloaded for that. This SDAC will probably end up at Rocky Mountain. I know we're gonna have a shit ton. JDS Labs has agreed to send us DACs. Geshelli has agreed to send some DACs. So I'll just take a bunch of random things that I think are worthwhile. Maybe the topping, actually the topping D10 might be the main DAC that controls the room, because we're gonna do a similar system with SPDIF like I have on my desk here, where I have that DAC and that DAC and that DAC, and that DAC, all hooked up to one fiber optic output of in this case, a Mica Origin G2, which just takes USB from my laptop. I play, it shits out a SPDIF signal. I'm sure it's not as brutal as shitting it out, but it puts out a SPDIF signal. That SPDIF signal is 2496. I think that was what I have it set to. Beautiful. And I'm done. Now, I also didn't pad swap these ever. I got them, fell in love with them, and just said, screw it, I don't want to touch them. But now I'm touching them, so everyone's also saying things like, oh, you got to try the suedes on there. And I'm just like, leave me the hell alone. I ain't got time. If you never saw the inside of a ZMF and you want to know if they're handmade, well, I mean, look, I'm not wrapping this pad around a piece of plastic or machined metal. That's just wood. That's a wood disc. Zach could have been making these in his garage on a wood lathe for 15 hours a day. And he very well might be at the prices he charges for some of them. So there you go. So that's one. Every hole. You could see there's even like errors in the holes. It's all hand screwed together. He does a remarkable job. For the amount of... No, this is why you're on a waiting list when you order Aeolus or Otor or Verite. Oh, God. All of them take time and effort. Did I put this on backwards? Please tell me I did not. I can't wait to give my first impression on this and say, okay. Yee. So that's definitely needs to be rotated. Everything's here. It's on. We ready to play? We are playing music. I probably shouldn't be assessing this on a tube, but dead mouse is probably not the thing. Let's just look at some demos. Sculpted. We all know Sculpted from Haywire. Hold on. So through that Grace SDAC, through the You know what? That doesn't sound bad. Like, I was worried it was going to be really sharp. Because, I mean, you're taking that... That is a hell of a filter to be taken out of the way. Definitely some more impactful bass, I think. I gotta skip through about a dozen more songs. Glass Animals Flip. Hold on. Balance out of the 789, through the Grace, SDAC. Okay, I think I'm ready for pad rolling now. Ooh. That actually almost sounded the bass is distorting when I put it. I'm putting it up way high. Let's try high gain. Okay. So, 2 things successfully completed. Zeos has combined it 2 days. I have removed these crazy things from my Aeolus, and I told you that the Grace SDAC is a damn fine example of a DAC. Amazing how they squeezed everything into the back of it. And it's just neat and pretty, and I don't need to sell it to you. That wallpaper will sell it to you. Although I will say, if I put my headphones on the back of it, it does stand up, because it doesn't weigh that much. Actually, this is a weighty fucker too. Here's what you could expect if you go with a stack. I'm down. Are you down? I'm down. Anyway, here's the thing. After Rocky Mountain, which is in September, there's probably going to be, well, people who donate to the GoFundMe for Rocky Mountain will automatically be entered to win a bunch of stuff. But anything that doesn't get given away will probably be sold in yard sales for months afterwards. So keep an eye out that. Any patron in the $5 tier or higher, you get entered into the yard sales, or you can enter to bid on things in the yard sales. If you're in the $10 Patreon tier, you get into the private Telegram chat. Those people are my lifeline. Forget about me being their lifeline. If I have questions, I go to them. They are knowledgeable as fuck. They also give great advice, and if I'm like, hey, how should I set up the room in Rocky Mountain? They're the people they're paying me to hang out with them, but that doesn't mean that I can't actually become their friends. That sounded a little queer. But okay, we don't touch butts or anything. But the $10 patron tier, they're going to be the big ones that are like, hey, are you doing this at Rocky Mountain? I'm showing up to do this. I listen. And I also answer your questions immediately. Yard sales, see these videos early. You're going to see them at least a week early now. I think I've got enough of a buffer. Link to that wallpaper. Every wallpaper I've ever used, $2 patrons get that. The RMAF GoFundMe is linked down at the bottom of the description. We're way off my target, but it doesn't matter. It's happening no matter what. I just won't be able to eat steak ever again. It's fine. I don't like that shit anyway. Hi-Fi guides, link to these DAC section. You guys request a DAC section, or make a DAC section. There's a link to this post for this DAC in the DAC section on Hi-Fi guides discussion in a comment below. I think we're good for now. I'm gonna go back to listening to these solid state, clicking around my clicking. I'm just gonna be clicking. So I'll see you all tomorrow for another amazing Z review. Oh, they're amazing.